他是20大成功召开后首批受邀访华的外国领导人之一。
Being one of the first few guests here is a great manifestation of our Iron Brotherhood.
他说，中国国家主席习近平是他的榜样。
Not only for me, millions of people around the globe in Pakistan.
他反击西方所谓中国威胁论。
They will never be able to contain China. China is a mighty power.
巴基斯坦总理夏巴兹·谢里夫接受高端访谈专访，敬请收看。
关注国际焦点，洞察世界风云。大家好，欢迎收看本期高端访谈，我是王冠。在中国的外交关系当中，有一个国家一直是一个特殊的存在，它被中方称作全天候战略合作伙伴，也是唯一获得中方这样称谓的国家。而在民间，人们把它亲切地称作铁杆兄弟，它就是巴基斯坦。今天我们的对话嘉宾是巴基斯坦总理夏巴兹·谢里夫。巴铁关系如何一直铁下去？中巴如何处理双边关系以及国际风云变幻带来的多重挑战？我们一起来听一听谢里夫总理是怎么说的。Prime Minister Sharif, you are among the first foreign leaders who have been invited to visit China. In fact, you're the first head of government to be invited after the 20th National Party Congress. How do you feel about this arrangement? I guess this is no coincidence.
Well, I think it's a matter of great privilege and honor to visit China on the invitation of Chinese leadership and being one of the first few guests here is a great manifestation of our Iron Brotherhood. It speaks volumes about our friendship and mutual trust and mutual understanding. So deeply appreciate this gesture on the part of Chinese leadership.
What do you think are the major outcomes from your trip and really the significance of your trip in promoting China-Pakistan fraternity?
I think I'm returning back to Pakistan tonight hugely strengthened and encouraged by massive support from Chinese leadership to work jointly for the good of the two peoples and promote CPAC and then promote B2B investments in Pakistan and also jointly deal with issues which relate to international considerations. And we have also agreed that China and Pakistan will enhance our consultative process to discuss geopolitical situation, to discuss how to bring progress and prosperity not only in Pakistan but in the region. And I feel the best thing which has happened in the last couple of weeks is President Xi Jinping's re-election as General Secretary of the party for the third time. This is a great news, not only for China, but for entire peace-loving communities around the globe. His dynamic leadership in the last 10 years has transformed Chinese society, has taken 800 million people out of poverty line. This is a miracle. This is of humongous proportion, unbelievable. And then China, which was a country in 80s, struggling to...
You first visited China in 1981.
Yes, in 1981. When I was here in China in 1981, I could hardly see a car moving on the roads. These were buses and bicycles. And today it's a different world.
You met President Xi twice since you took office as Prime Minister, but you met him even earlier as the Chief Minister of Punjab.
Exactly.
I saw the photo of you signing some transportation agreements in 2014. What do you think of him as a leader?
I think he's a very visionary leader, a very dynamic leader, and a man of great wisdom and foresight. Otherwise, to transform this Chinese society in the face of huge challenges, external, diplomatic, and other issues, to carve one's way out is not a joke. It is an achievement unprecedented. And that shows his grit. That shows his courage, his wisdom, his sense of understanding of issues. And I believe it all stems from his early days as a young boy, when he spent years in Yellow Land. And I think he had seen things through very closely. Poverty, unemployment, and other challenges that always lived in his mind. And as he progressed in life, he used his energy, his commitment to the Chinese people to change their lifestyle. And poverty should not be a stigma on the face of China, which he has done. It is remarkable. And of course, he's a man who has seen both sides of the world. And he always remembered that China in the previous centuries have been maltreated, have been dealt with unjustly and unfairly. He wanted to recover from that embarrassment. And look, China is now touching zenith of glory. It's not through only speeches. It is through practical implementation, hard work, sacrifice, untiring efforts, collective efforts, whether in rural areas or in urban areas, whether in industry or in agriculture. So President Xi Jinping is a role model for me. Not only for me, millions of people around the globe in Pakistan. And I really admire his leadership. And he's a man who has fought against corruption. He's a man who has broken the status quo. He is a man who looks into the future, and with his skills, he has really made China as a world-class country, a country people are really attracted to know how China has grown that quickly. The Chinese miracle.
He has something in mind, that is to elevate China-Pakistan relations, that is for sure. I want to talk about this iron brotherhood of China and Pakistan. You know this, Mr. Prime Minister, that in China we call you Bhatia, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You like that characterization?
I think it's, they call it Batai. Am I right?
Yeah, Bhatia.
That's iron brother. We are iron brothers because this friendship is unbreachable. Nobody can damage this friendship. Nobody can, find any space in this friendship. No matter what, we will remain friends. We have been friends, and we'll be there forever. And that's the strength of this friendship. Look at the days of COVID, for example. At the point of this COVID pandemic, Pakistan was in dire need of support, expertise, experience, medical experts, etc. And look what China did. China opened all channels to support Pakistan. President Xi Jinping under his instructions, millions of vaccines were dispatched to Pakistan. Experts were dispatched to Pakistan, and they offered training programs to Pakistani experts, while hundreds of people were dying every day. In hospitals, beds ran short of supply. Doctors didn't know how to treat this pandemic, and Chinese experts and Chinese medical teams came there and came to rescue. And there were 2 injections, span of 21 days. That's what China did to millions of Pakistan. How can we forget this ever in our life? We can't thank you enough. Thank you, China, but we don't have enough words to thank you enough. Thank you, President Xi, and thank you, people of China, for supporting us during the days of COVID-19, for supporting us now when Pakistan is devastated by unprecedented floods. China has again come to our rescue. So this is our friendship. We stand by each other during the time of adversity. We stand by each other during difficult times. That is our friendship. That is our strength.
How are our brothers and sisters doing in Pakistan? I know that's record-smashing floods and rainfall. A third of the country is underwater. How are they coping?
Yes, 1/3 of the country has been submerged. Even as we speak, water is still stagnating in parts of Sindh and Balochistan, which has led to waterborne diseases. And now winter is setting in. In the northern parts, in the mountains, people need shelter. And at this point of dire urgency, China again, first established air bridge, sent goods for flood-affected people, through military aircrafts, and then through shipments through sea, provided very hefty cash amounts. Not only government of China, Chinese companies, Chinese people, even somebody told me, children, while watching television.
I have a real story here, if you don't mind me sharing. A 14-year-old schoolgirl in southern China donated nearly much of her pocket money to the people of Pakistan. And she said this, because in 2008, during the Wenchuan earthquake, Pakistan donated all of its strategic reserve tents to the quake victims. And then a friend in need is a friend indeed. She's returning the favor.
That's exactly true. You have snatched words from her mouth. And this is like a family. This is like one body. If a part of the body, aches, the whole body aches. This is, truly speaking, our fraternal relations. And as you said, a friend in need is a friend indeed. China has always been with Pakistan. And that's the finest part of the story.
It's a very emotional relationship.
Unity, absolutely emotional. This boy, 14 years old.
14-year-old schoolgirl, yeah.
Schoolgirl. This is a fabulous story. And it is now, I think, spread on social media in a big way. And that speaks volumes about our emotional bondage. And I think we are set to move forward and enhance our cooperation. President Xi Jinping, I had invited him again to visit Pakistan, and he has been very generous to tell me that he'll be visiting Pakistan soon, inshallah.
Talking about development, and neoliberalism was considered the only viable option to prosperity and the advancement of society. Those opinions are held by the Western elites. But China is considered a gravity-defying case, which is summarized by the Chinese path to modernization, a key phrase coming out of the 20th Party Congress. What's your understanding of this Chinese path?
I think
modernization?
The strongest message with utmost clarity which has come out from 20th session of National Congress of CPC says two things clearly: continuity and sustainability. BRI, Belt Road Initiative, it's all about mutual cooperation and progress and prosperity of peoples living around the globe. It's not about China, it's not about neighboring countries, it's about Eurasia, it's about Africa, it's about South Asia, it's about South
Afghanistan,
America, it's about
Pakistan.
East Asia. That is the most shining part of this vision of President Xi Jinping, coupled with GDI, Global Development Initiative. And we are I'm very happy to announce that we will be one of the first countries having signed this document, and we will implement this in Pakistan without any delay. And this is all about globalization. President Xi's vision is about globalization, is about inclusive participation and not exclusive role. And this is where I think he makes a difference between him and other leaders of this world.
Talking about global politics, this is so important. It seems that some countries are, defining China as an aggressive power and targeting China as the #1 national security threat, forming alliances trade-wise, military-wise, technology-wise against China to contain its rise. Do you think such fear of China, such containment measures are warranted?
If you look at the history, China has always been a very prosperous and rich country. But, foreign, entities who came here, they made it into a colony. China opened its eyes in a very free, independent atmosphere in 1949. And now, in about 72 years, look at China. At that point in time, in 49, China had to provide food, shelter, education to its citizens. And it was a great struggle. It was a great effort. And today, look at China, the second largest economy of the world, a very prosperous country, has trillions of dollars of trade annually, probably $6 trillion, trillions of dollars of their foreign exchange. People have a home to live, have education, have health, have jobs, have comfortable transport, education, modern skills, modern techniques. China has not shown in anybody's remotest imagination any germs of expansionism. To the contrary, China's philosophy, President Xi Jinping's philosophy, is about globalization, is about interaction, is about prosperity and progress. And the policy of those who believe in containment are sadly mistaken. They will never be able to contain China. China is a mighty power. The world cannot operate without China, and vice versa. And China believes in peaceful means. Even today, our discussion with President Xi, and I said that we want to have peaceful talks with India. And they not only fully endorsed my point of view, they encouraged me that this is the way forward. So, Chinese military prowess is not for aggression, it is for its defense, and rightly so, keeping in view the past history. China cannot afford to remain weak in this area. Therefore, China is within its rights to be militarily strong, yet be very cautious and careful as not to give even slightest of impression that this power is for aggression. No. That is the finest moment of China's leadership.
I want to talk about infrastructure because it's very important to you. You're a 3-time Punjab chief minister. When you're a chief minister of Punjab, you're known as a diligent administrator and someone who gets things done, right? Shahbaz Speed is a word coined by the news media. You oversaw the road, highways, and the metro line there. I had the privilege of visiting Punjab a few years ago. What do you think CPAC or the BRI bring to Pakistan?
CPAC is an offshoot of BRI. And it is, again, a brainchild of President Xi Jinping. And this program was mutually agreed and signed between Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif and President Xi Jinping back in 2015, April 2015 in Islamabad. And ever since, $30 billion have been invested. It has given great impetus to Pakistan's economy. And it has energy projects, infrastructure, and multifarious interventions, which has provided thousands and thousands of jobs to people of Pakistan, prosperity and progress. Now we have to move forward. CPAC as an umbrella, B2B interactions, and moving in agriculture, moving in industry, special zones, moving in high-tech industry. Pakistan has a wonderful, energetic youth, which is very talented.
It's amazing, and 80-90% of the population.
Which is very talented, 65%. Yes, you're absolutely correct. And we need to empower them. So I think under CPAC, all these great initiatives will provide greater opportunities to Pakistan. Therefore, I think this friendship, this vision will be harbinger of change in time to come.
But there are criticism towards the BRI, which can be summed up as follows. Number one, it leads up to a debt trap. And number two, it shapes up to be China's neo-colonialism.
No.
Do you think those assertions are fair?
Not at all. It brings harmony. It brings peace and progress to people. I mean, it is not something, a combination of stick and carrot. It is only carrot. Stick, where is stick in this? So, how can you even think of, colonialism? That was something done through the barrel of the gun.
Yeah.
Here, it is through economic interaction, inclusive partnership. So I think, please have a very clear differentiation between the two.
One last question. What do you think is the truest source of China-Pakistan all-weather fraternity that can be sustained over decades?
Now, this is, I think, the strength of this relationship, that we don't feel bad for any country. We want to neutralize opponents. We want to create sense of responsibility in them and move forward in unison. I think that is the biggest strength of this relationship, and I think that's how we should remain non-aligned. We should remain aligned to one goal, and that is that this world, this universe should remain happy, prosperous, and in peace.
Prime Minister Sharif, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.